Om Shanti, peace to you, peace to me. Hello, my name is Peter, and today I want to talk about the law of flexibility. I'm not talking about that kind of flexibility, flexing the body, yoga, all that kind of stuff, that kind of it. But no, this is more to do with Tai Chi or Aikido, Aikido. I've never really done so much Tai Chi, more Qigong, but I've done David Dorian Ross's Tai Chi Fit, and I love it because he makes it so simple and so much fun to do, and you really do feel like you've done a workout after doing one of his sessions. He's a lovely man. I've spoken to him, and yeah, Tai Chi is a martial art as well as Aikido, and that's really the basis of it is the law of flexibility, and it's founded on non-resistance rather than non-resistance. So when you're pushed, you pull. When you're pulled, you push. And when the force comes towards you, you get out of the way. Common sense. You get out of the way. So everything's serving our highest good if we make good use of this. So if somebody's coming towards you, you can pull and use the force of that to let it go past you. And if something's pushing you, well, if something's actually pushing you, yes, you can pull, and when the force comes towards you, you move out of the way. And when you're being pushed, or when someone's pulling you, you can actually push to help move that further out of the way. It's the law of flexibility. It's actually navigating yourself around life without using force, using your power. There's a great book, Power versus Force, and the power is really your intelligence. Force, you can build your muscles up and try and push your way through this material world. And you can also force outcomes, really force outcomes. It takes a lot of work for a lot of people, unless you're manipulating the outcome, which is what's happening at the top of our society today. Everything's been manipulated, but if you're trying to do it on a lower level, you're using force. It's very, very tiring. It takes a lot of effort, whereas if you use your power, actually you're using other people's power as well to get the goal that you want. But the universe works in very mysterious ways, and the universe will say that's not really for the good of all, and it's not even for the good of you, because look where it's going to take you. And that's very serious. It's very serious. So the law of flexibility is you to ebb and flow with the pushing and pulling of life. And when something comes at you too hard, bang, stop, and get out of the way. Let it pass. Let it pass. Let it go. Because there's some things that are very, very unstoppable, but there's other things that we can use our power to stop. For instance, I believe that the world is crying out, the top echelons of the people in the world are crying out for a third world war, which is why Iran has been continually demonized, China's been continually demonized, Russia's been continually demonized. And I'm not saying any of those countries are saints, because all politicians seem to be corrupted, but the West have been rattling their sabers against them for many, many years now. And I saw a documentary on the Silk Road. We went through that Middle Eastern area with Iran, Uzbekistan, and all those sorts of areas around there. And the people were amazing. In Iran, the people were amazing. I didn't realise that the Armenians were in there as the artistic people. Lots and lots of them were immigrants into Iran, and they really did improve the colour and the culture of the country. And where they have a bazaar, they would have all the same items for sale in certain areas, so it was good for the people going through, so they knew exactly where the silk was being sold, for instance, or the spices being sold. And all of them were working with integrity and with each other, even when they were in competition with each other. And that was the basis of all of it, was integrity. And I found that fascinating, because you do it over here, you get someone putting some I don't know, a stink bomb in somebody else's stall, or even some maggots or whatever, if it's a food stall, or something to be detrimental to their stall so that the other stall looked better. There, with none of that, it didn't even enter their heads. And that's how much integrity they've still got over there. And I'm sure that's trying to be destroyed, because integrity is dying a death in our Western world, and it needs to grow again, it needs to come back amongst each other. So they became flexible with each other. They weren't pushing and pulling, and there was no objects coming at them, and it was like the law of flexibility. They were being flexible around that market stall. And it was incredible to see that Iran was such a vibrant country. Yes, okay, you got the religious leaders, and I don't agree with any governments personally, because I think all governments are there to stop the people doing actually what they want to do. You have to be conditioned into saying, well, this is our society, this is how you're going to live, otherwise you go. And now there's nowhere to go. So you have to put up with what they tell you what you got to do. And that whole thing in Iran really opened up my eyes to see, wow, that's fascinating. And the Iranians that I've met in my life are all like this. They're all wonderful, big, open-hearted people. And they are living, it feels like they're living with the law of flexibility, where if you push them, they will pull you. If you pull them, they will push you. Or if you go at them too hard, they'll get out of the way. So they're naturally using these natural laws as human beings, as we should be. And then we use our power. And the point really is that there's been so much pressure put onto these countries for a third world war. I don't think there's a stomach for it in this world anymore. I think people are so disgusted with war and what we do to our younger generations, sending them off to fight in the way that they've done, especially in the First and the Second World War, and even the other wars, Korea, Vietnam, all the other, Cambodia, all the terrible wars that all these people have been through, Desert Storm, over 1 million Iraqis dead. You know, it's just, I don't think people have got the stomach for it anymore, and that's what I feel. Our vibration is starting to rise to say, no, we want to live in peace now. And we can take that further and further and further the more that we rise our vibrations. So it's getting involved with the law of flexibility. Don't push back when someone's pushing you, and don't try to pull back when someone's trying to pull you. It's ebbing and flowing with your life, and get out of the way if the train is coming. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Sarang Hamida.